Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, May 20th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the SNQ. Now, we warned everybody on the video this morning and in my trading room to beware of chop. Boy, oh boy, did we have chop. We spent the majority of the day in the upper distribution. Only later in the day to take back the trend day from yesterday in ES. Eat away at the buy tail, but close in the upper distribution. NQ had taken that trend day back from yesterday in A period. They also ate into their buy tail, but held into the upper distribution. NQ failed on a trend day up and a trend day down. They go out with just a 9-wide point of control. ES failed just on a trend day down, and they go out with a 10-wide POC. They had a perfect POC at one point, 10 for 10, but that was it. Righty goes out with a 9-wide point of control. Not an inside day, but still in balance, as they never took out this balance high. So not a lot accomplished today by the bulls or bears. I'm telling you, I would say if 90% of traders lose money, I can't imagine. I mean, it can't go much higher, the percentage, but I guarantee you it did today. Not an easy day. Not accommodating whatsoever at times. I still think we saw it well. I was surprised when we had the trend up in NQ. I didn't think it would hold. Did well on that on a short. I also didn't think the trend down would hold in NQ. ES, I wasn't so sure, and it didn't. I had a decent day overall, but again, not accommodating. Now, the question is, what kind of balance are you going to want to use? That's what we discussed in the room. That's where it's an art, not a science. You can use a 3-day balance, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. You can use a 4-day balance, include Thursday, or you can include last Tuesdays, because I think that's the bigger low, right? Eventually, that needs to get taken out for them to have a chance, the bears, to go get into the gap and everything. But again, it's subjective, whatever you want to call it, right? Same with ES. Same with NQ. Well, look, when we look at ES and SPY's chart later, I'll show you. It's a little clearer there what you could potentially use. So in A period, we opened with a lot of chop. I said I'm going to wait unless we go for one of the overnights. And we did. And I got the overnight low. It barely got it and came right back up, at least initially. Then, because we had the overnight low and we started pushing lower and got value overlapping lower, I started taking a couple of ebb and flow trades. So that worked out okay. Same in B period. Even though it was an inside bar, I was shorting it. Then C period, I missed 2 trades. I missed B's high to 1 time frame up, which I wasn't upset about that. But then I tried to grab the long to take out the IB high, and it just went too quick and I couldn't get it. So I missed both staple plays there, 1 time framing and the IB. However, I did make some long trades there with some ebb and flow as they started pulling value back to unchanged. Eventually, they went overlapping lower again. And ES, which was unchanged the majority of the day, went overlapping lower late in the day. Didn't do anything until G period. And that's when I took the short when they took out the C's high in NQ. So read that very well. Then in H period, we had some singles. I took 1 ebb and flow long against them, did okay, and 1 long against a single print fill and did okay. I period, looking for an afternoon pullback, did well on a long there. Then in J period, same thing. Now I did well on a long, but I stopped it. After a while, I was like, forget it. We're not going to have an afternoon pullback. It's getting too close to the day's low. And then lo and behold, we went and got the IB low. I had a short nail that cost me, though. We were holding trend, and I thought we had decent odds to push. I thought not so much that we would hold trend. I didn't, but I didn't think we would take back as much as fast. Ended up losing about 25 points on that. But I did flip to long to stop the one-time framing down, so made on that. And then I took a long in M to go back to POC, which had been lowered to eyes low. So I think we saw the day pretty well. It was a very tough read. And that's what happens when you have an inside day. And for the most part, value was unchanged for most of the day until, again, they brought it lower in NQ again and in ES for the first time. These are the type of days I try to tell traders, you play small. You just try to make small, right? There's no continuity. So play small on days like today. Now, the Bears did end up winning the checklist sheet. So that broke at least a 6-day losing streak for the Bears. And in ES, they also won today. And then, let's go to the charts. Remember, I've been trading my Tradeify account, been doing well on it. I'm live in it now. So, I think they're one of the best out there. I like them, and I like Take Profit. I also have one with Apex. But I do have a affiliation with Tradeify. So, again, if you want to trade one of the props, try them out. And I appreciate it if you use my link. Okay, so here is ES and SPY. Again, 3-day balance, I don't have a problem with it. If they take out yesterday's low, fine. We are an inside day. So is NQ. So if we come out of the inside day to the upside or the downside, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to come out of balance right away. You come out of it to the upside, we have to take out yesterday's high. Downside, you'd have to take out today's low. Okay? Then, since it's an inside day, if you want to call it up or down below that, I don't have a problem with that. Again, it's all subjective. The market's had a huge run, right? The monthly is balanced. The weekly is up. The market has had a huge run. We're still holding that weekly gap. Again, I don't want to see a pullback all the way to the 200-day moving average. But I certainly think if you wipe out maybe some of these week longs and pull back and have one nice balance and come out of that to the upside, it would be a healthier move to an all-time high. We can certainly go and get the all-time high without doing that. But I think the structure, the underlying structure would not be that good. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.